InShalla and Ashe, as always, blessings to you, my energetic beings. It is officially Gemini season, and with Mercury doing that cosmic dance, how is communication doing in the neighboring hood for you? Feel as if our thoughts are streaming one way and then streaming another? So my musing podcast, Musing with Tanya D, is out in the corridor today, dedicated to the archangels of Gemini, Sadkiel mostly, and Ambriel, which I actually found kind of insightful. However, my initial download this morning was the angelic being that we should actually call upon is the one who is the ruler of where our Chiron is, our wounded healer. So if Chiron is in Gemini in your chart, natal or otherwise, I would call on Zadkiel. Chiron at the moment is actually surfing through the season of Aries, midway through, I might add. And Ariel is online for the healing there. But go ahead and check out my musing podcast dedicated to Ariel, if your heart calls out to her, the angelic ambassador of divine magic and miraculous manifestations, the goddess of nature. So where Gemini, you may have thought was all about thought, but Zadkiel is all about forgiveness, and that forgiveness needs to actually be heartfelt and come from the heart. This is the archangel of memory. So who is the archangel of compassion and forgiveness, right? So there's different flavors: heartfelt forgiveness, the angelic being who actually remembers everything, including the origins of the universe. Anything remembering our divine origin, our blueprint, our life purpose, our reason for living. So just selecting love, in other words, forgiveness. But with that, welcome to today's Daily Snippet. I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman and medium, otherworldly life coach, a subtle energetic surgeon, if you will. I go by the term holistic Sha medium, blending actually the two of those, which is actually holism, shamanism, and mediumship, all combined into one. But my intention is to utilize the power of the indigenous technologies, the elemental realms, our original divine blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic through the realm of the elementals, the elemental highway, into the imaginal realms, the mystic and otherwise, the cosmos, with these subtle energies, elements, and elemental beings, with offerings, prescriptions, rituals to really add to your juice, your personal container. But my goal truly is to authentically merge the wisdom of these indigenous technologies, these indigenous ways, with the subtle realms, the etheric highway, to assist you into navigating your own prime directive, your inner genius, the medicine that you are, and the star that you are. And I believe we're all our own stars, just reintroducing us to the magical being that really resides within, so you can shine your inner light brighter. My name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. So on the menu today, besides being a Monday musing, which my days are always musing, but we sure have Zadkiel on for the season of Gemini, which actually isn't really a bad idea for some memory recall, if you will. But being that Mercury is doing that cosmic dance in its home sign and then traveling back into Taurus, this planet actually travels where angels fear to tread and can go anywhere. So if you need assistance with calling in compassion, our true state of being, how we really are, healing those memories that are painful and undoing negative patterns associated with memories, those negative thought patterns that loop, assisting with issues of self-esteem, kind of doing a memory recall of our strengths and abilities, our natural innate talents, past lives, childhood memoirs, anything you think you have lost or finding those things that you have lost. We become unstuck when we are unable to move forward from past entanglements. That holds us in kind of a gridlock, if you will, or call him in if you're having trouble with forgiveness. And if you haven't already, please do be kind and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tanya D, and also go ahead and hit the bell button so you too are notified And also, if you don't mind sharing and commenting on the videos, a comment or a share gets you a message for your day, just saying. So I do appreciate that. And it also echoes out the algorithm to like-minded users in the galactic universe, and also muse about those who also muse about the insights of the other day. Sorry, I'm finding my little, there I am. The other world, spirit, source, and beings, and really so much more, along with other social channels like TikTok, Instagram, and of course, my Musing with Tanya D podcast, which you should have that in your inbox shortly. But if your soul wishes to dive deeper into the realms of the other world, head on over to my Musing Corridor, where I have a digital library, if you will, my Musing Corridor, to assist you, to guide you. I really am your shamanic assistant. You really are your own healer. So last week, my daily snippet called Emotional Toning, I believe that's what it's called. It actually has been on pause on YouTube. I'm not sure why. However, I do multi-stream, so you can also find that on my What's Up Tanya D Facebook page. I'm still looking into why on that one. Kind of interesting. It might have been a word I used. I don't know. But with the season of Gemini, I mean, I kind of wish I did have a trickster, kind of jokester, oracle kind of deck. But with Jupiter reaching out to the sun today at the same degree, kind of sextiling, if you will, our feelings are first, and our feelings, and honestly, just kind of pay attention to the feels. Feel the feels daily. You may feel heartfelt thoughts, Zadkiel, doing some compassionate dancing with those memoirs, or your ego may feel the big actions, the big characters, the otherworldly behaviors that need to be guided. Heart is the guide. And the test of all tests, you know, Mars literally is on my Chiron, so this is great. And Mars is kind of cutting away those old spiritual beliefs and wounds, at least for myself today. So it's like no more pissy treasure, and Mercury, the dancer, the cosmic dancer, is kind of sextiling in. Just entering into Taurus from the realm of Gemini. So it's like thoughts getting rethought, and some intuitive psychic excitement may be reborn. So just master those sensors. The cosmic heart is really online with our emotions. So again, feel the feels first and tune into the notes, the seed sounds from there. But during the season of Gemini, our solar plexus is highlighted. So it's like all things solar plexus, our thoughts, our self-esteem, our mental clarity. It's the golden sun. It's kind of like our subtle energy administrator, if you will, and courage. That's kind of the channel that comes in, our own personal CEO, aligning our inner world, rethinking with Mercury doing that dance in the cosmic sky. So I feel the feels of the Seers are coming in today. And again, if you would like a message for your day, tag a friend, comment, share the show. Really simple. It's easy peasy to do, right? Or, you know, just feel into it. But before we climb in there, I want you to just browse at these three little cards. Let me find them. There we go. These three, take a look and pick which one calls to you. I've got rose quartz up there. I got a smoky topaz, and I actually have an amethyst. So the rose quartz is card 1, smoky topaz is card 2, and amethyst is card 3. So just take note, or go and feel and see into which one you're called to, or who is calling out to you. Just really take that breath, take a pause, or, you know, you could be like me and go with all three. But first up, hopefully you've picked your card. First up, we have the 9 of Cups, which, I mean, this is like the moon cups in Aries. It's an Aryan number, Mars, action, character, which is interesting. It's our behavior and character. And the moon is actually in the season of spirit, Pisces. So it's like spiritual learning, insights, spiritual belonging, spiritual communication, telepathy. So as we climb the moon's ladder to consciousness, feeling those feels, any shade of yellow is great for the season of the sun, being in Gemini. But the 9 of Cups looks pretty sunbursting to me. Maybe you can see the rays kind of holding up all those cups, if you will, those sound bowls. But the universe is gifting our hearts or our solar plexus the desire, choosing joy first, manifesting our dreams, gratitude, abundance, all those kinds of choices, right? So it's like changing the way we look at things, the things around us look to change, right? It's all perspective. So this is a message of abundance, it's happiness. And you know, often, fittingly enough, it's our dreams, it's our wishes. So what have you been wishing for? So it's time to allow ourselves to experience how magical maybe dreaming and fulfilling this earth plane journey can actually be. Filling life with all the laughter and the bliss, needing to spin us into our next phase of our earth journey, possibly happiness. So really take stock of all the feelings that are bubbling up through the surface or streaming down from the cosmos. You know, practice an attitude of gratitude for those dreams manifested before they even arrive, to see them happening. So this is really an auspicious message of harmony, prosperity, and getting what our heart authentically desires, right? But what you have been working towards is kind of on its way. So it's time to be in the joy for the little things, the baby steps. Be in the awe for the magic, the miraculous, faith. So just wonder, the joys of wonder, childlike wonder, just opening our heart to the gifts that are really on their way. Having an open heart is actually having a receiving heart. So if you've signed up for Rising of the Origins yet, open your heart. I have really a bunch of goodies, virtual goodies in there too, in case you have missed the link. So yeah, that's all out there. Lots of goodness in there. Lots of sharing. And following the Nine of Cups, we have message number 2, the Two of Pentacles. And I don't know if you can tell, she's doing a dance. There's a heavenly sunset there. So this is a need to balance many aspects of ourselves, which is actually curious, or at least I'm kind of musing out loud. So here we just have the cups, and now we have the 2, which is also the moon. So the moon bringing our emotions to earth, spirit. The moon is in Pisces. I almost said Neptune, which is going to cascade there soon as well. So spirit really is online and feeling those spiritual emotions and bringing those feels to the earth plane for manifesting emotion. Juggling obligations, seeking harmony, equilibrium. The moon with all the roles, right? So it's like responsibilities that you may be juggling, or maybe you're feeling a little too imbalanced, overly busy. Is your calendar totally overbooked? You have so much going on and not enough of you to go around. So it's the stress of being pulled or stretched in way too many directions and feeling the need to balance these dualities, these opposing aspects of life, like time spent alone versus time spent with others, material versus spiritual. So, which is actually the energy of today, the material earth, pentacles, and our spiritual emotions, the moon in Pisces. So just make sure that we aren't investing too many resources in one area at the expense of another, especially when they are equally just as important. So this message is suggesting that we are more than likely able to manage all of this desire to do the juggle. However, is that really what we want to do? All the juggling? So it's time to balance this energy, creating balance that we absolutely love and in flow of our heart space and our feelings and aligned with our thoughts. One that allows for more fun and treasure and play and time to create and love and all the juice, right? All the things. So it not only takes from the energy, however, more importantly, it's going to add to the cosmic soup more of that as well. Just creating the equilibrium, the balance, the harmony in our lives today that allows to be our best self, our good and our gooder self, being better, striving to do things better, allowing our mind to be an asset today, supporting and being a resource for our feelings, where feelings actually flow freely, clearing our emotional field of our mind, kind of melding together. So are you aware of how your thoughts really easily affect your feelings? The duality of that space as well. It's like they are actually doing a dance. They're teeter-tottering, doing this dance. And our final message here, which is also super juicy, is the star that we are. 17 there. So this is connected to spirit through our heart, and then we can decide for that better outcome. Thoughts and feelings create an outcome. So heartfelt spiritual connections. I would literally subscribe to the channel of spirit, our spiritual acumen, our higher self. So this is our expectations being fulfilled, wishes being granted, opportunities, even healing after those traumatic events, and knowing that we are on the right path, inspired, renewed hope, hopeful for humanity. So it's kind of time to sink into the star that we are. And if you haven't checked out Change Your Stars as of yet, that's how to navigate our intuitive gifts to live our life purpose. It's on for the season of May for 7 more days, I think, maybe 8. So sign up for that at a savings, of course. But the rising is also a playground for playing. So this is really a message of divine timing, renewed hope, just guiding us to reach for the string, lassoing that star, if you can see that. It really is faith, having faith, miracles, miraculous, and just knowing that our future is increasingly getting brighter and that we are blessed by the universe. Our core purpose is kind of bubbling and budding through the surface of our day-to-day reality. And our path, these paths are intrinsically, they're tied to our biggest missions, our brightest opportunities for this expansion. So I'd step onto that path of fulfillment and allow the star, the light of the star, to be your beacon, your guide, allowing this innate star essence to shine through any residual darkness at the moment, and covering those limiting beliefs, those negative thoughts, self-doubt that we may be holding on to, and just finding courage in our voice to voice our outside voice, those unexpressed emotions, possibly just journaling them down too, and releasing every bit of that outgrown energy that may be anchoring you into those past threadings. It's time to let it go. The past is over. You can't hang on to it. It's just going to bog you down. It's time to release and ascend. And as you let go, you then can focus more on the future, finding that biggest source of light, of inspiration, of love. So the stars really are aligning in our favor, and it is time to trust them, expecting those miracles. So we are on this teeter-totter of emotions and thoughts, just dancing between these two threads, boosting our mind, our thoughts. That will lessen the triggers, those emotions that may be coming to the platter, if you will. So kind of be a resource for a feeling, not a force of adversity, just creating that mental clarity. You know, does your mind talk down to your feelers? It's time to raise the bar of our voice inside our head. So any thoughts that make us feel less than or feel less than, they literally need to be extinguished. So kind of pay attention to your self-talk today, and what words do you say to yourself, inside voice or outside? And what is the seed sound, the tonality of that note? So it's like, how are our thoughts treating us, and what behavior kind of comes through? And you may find that others are trying to trigger you today, emotional triggers. Those are just growth moments or growth periods. So what are your emotional needs? And put your own oxygen mask on first, right? That's kind of the message with our emotions, with all the things. Actually, take care of self first. Body, our body never lies. It has its own story, which I am going to get into in Rising of the Origins. I'm kind of excited about that. But on the elemental highway, thanks for tuning in, by the way, we have a yang fire rat of a day. So yeah, rats and horses, those are opposing forces. Even though we got a snake, I don't know why I just said that. However, fire is great. It's the sun. It is strong. So fire is actually getting stronger too, bright like the star in the season of the snake. This is when fire energy is on the rise. And water is actually needed to cool down our day. Yang metal is actually a great one because it's useful. It's going to produce more water so our fire doesn't get out of control. But we do have both a yin and a yang water. We do have a lot of yang energy. So the inners is our emotions and our authenticity, maybe having those conversations. But again, during the season of the snake, we really don't need to boost fire or earth. They're already boosting on their own natural talents. So wood is actually adding more to our day, the yin wood and the yang wood. but we do have water to counterbalance all of this. So our day doesn't have any performance. It is the sun, and we circle around the sun, or the sun circles around us. So metal is a great resource for our day. So is wet earth. So it's kind of like time to water the garden. I would bring in the seed sound of earth, the Oooooo, that's who I always go to, the Mongolian rock band, if you've heard of them. They're my fave. Just connecting with wet earth, go hiking by a stream, rocks, meditation. And with our day, the gods are changing, which I find curious with our month. This doesn't always happen, by the way, but our neighboring god comes in on the month stem. This is neighborhood stuff. It's stuff within our vicinity. And this is an altruist god. So these people are concerned about the well-being of other people, especially the poor, the weak, or the sick. They have a compulsion to help in any way they can. They have this ability to write songs. I'm feeling like ballads or a bard, songs to address the injustices or sharing empathy through music and words. So like a bard, that's kind of what I'm saying. They sing the song. And on the year, we've got the otherworldly god, or the outer worldly god, global god of charisma. So this would be somebody who has the fire to really carry the fire, the charisma to become famous. It's usually an authority figure or somebody of the illusion of an authority figure, if you will. Great confidence, has a lot of courage. This is the outer world. This is sex appeal. But yang fire is the sun. And I find it interesting that our messages really aligned with the elements today. I don't know if you noticed that, but the elements are supporting us. So it's time to shift our thoughts, create good decisions, which lead to good thoughts, good feelings lead to better decisions. So with the messages, keeping our thoughts optimistic, it really is a great day for therapy, spiritual therapy, an acumen, journaling, be creative, be otherworldly, feel thoughts that feel good, and just streaming transformation, streaming streams in, I guess, connecting to the cosmos, the heavenly realm, the earth plane. When we do this, positive thoughts just feel good, right? I prefer that over the alternative any day, but I would affirm your most positive thought and feeling about yourself, adding that to your cosmic soup, and just taking the steps for those thought-raising feelings, raising the bar, and maybe have your feelings raise your thoughts. I mean, the perspective, if the world is dreary to you, then things around you become dreary as well. So really see the positive, feel the positive, and spirit is the one to induce or really call in Zadkiel as well, our divine blueprint, our personal codex, stuff like that. So I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to share and comment, and I will pull your own personal message. And as always, I will see you on the other side, InShalla, and Ashe. Blessings to you.